What's up guys? So it's been a while since you've been with me on the road. So for the first trip of our new year, we're going to be heading from the Toyota HQ in Shah Alam to Ipoh for lunch before ending the day in Penang in the new Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid. So as with all road trips, there's a bit of traffic, but I guess we get to try out the car's EV system, or rather hybrid system, where we were told under 30 kilometers an hour when the car is coasting, when it's cruising, when it's moving slowly like now on the federal highway, the car will automatically switch to EV mode, so running full electric. And especially with these like 10 to 20 kilometer an hour travel, stop go, it's just really, it takes a lot away from the engine, a lot of load away from the engine, using the electric motors to move the car instead. And when you do that, when you take away a lot of load from the engine, that invariably saves fuel. So we're just creeping very slowly on the federal highway now. The car is running completely on electric power. Just absolute silence. All you hear are the cars passing by. It's pretty cool. So it has an EV mode, but we can't exactly switch it on yet because the battery doesn't have enough charge. So hopefully while we're on the highway, it will charge it up a bit, and really like to try it out in full EV mode. That would be quite interesting. So we've just cleared all the traffic and all the mess. We're on the NKVE now, trying to hit the North-South Highway. And I must say, the first observation that I've made, from 60 to about 100, it actually feels quite meaty, you know? You just press throttle halfway, the car just gradually builds up speed very smoothly and very quietly. Toyota claims that this car, the Corolla Cross Hybrid, at full throttle is actually even quieter than the standard 1.8. And I must say, I kind of believe them. So as I'm sure you guys have heard a lot and read a lot and seen a lot there is to know about the Corolla Cross, but this being the hybrid, the one thing I really want to focus on in this video, on this road trip, is how fuel efficient can it be. Toyota claims that it can do about 4.3 liters per 100 km, and now that we're on this road trip, I'm actually quite curious to see if we can achieve those figures and if we can actually reach Penang on one tank, because mind you, the tank in this car is actually quite small. I think you're talking about 35-36 liters or so. Man, that's even smaller than the fuel tank in a Myvi. Now that we're on this road trip with 3 guys in the car, some bags in the back, I'm very interested to see if we can actually reach Penang in one tank. Yeah, because there will be a mix of back roads, there will be a mix of highways, you know, back roads.
Thank you very much.
Back roads so that we can try the car's stability, handling and all that. So a lot of hard acceleration, hard braking.
Okay, sorry ma'am.
Don't mind sharing with you, we're actually cruising at 130 kilometers an hour, and the noise in the cabin is actually unintrusive. I would say it's quiet. I mean, partly because they have this like acoustic glass going on that, you know, reduces cabin noise, but I think they've also padded the tires really well with this car, because I'm not getting a lot of noise from the tires as well. And at these speeds especially, you usually do. So remember how I said the fuel tank is rather small? I just went through the parameters. The range is actually quite high. I mean, we've traveled about 60 kilometers. It's got 590 kilometers to go. Wow. So we've just turned off the highway at the Bukit Taga and driving through some really nice smooth B roads. Skies are clear, roads are clear. It's just us, a bunch of Corolla Crosses. So far, it has handled it quite well. I mean, we've got some tight 90-degree turns, you know, we can really carry some speed through. And I must say, with the additional weight that the car is carrying, you know, due to the batteries, it's actually quite planted. Very stable, it doesn't feel like a pendulum, you know, while you're going through bends. Quite composed. This is partly due to the fact that the battery is mounted right at the bottom of the car, so the car's got quite low center of gravity, it's quite stable. So far, no complaints. The fuel consumption figure was 13.3 liters per 100 km when we started our journey. Throughout the highways, we have managed to bring it down to about 10.6 now. So I'm really hoping to see a much lower figure by the time we reach Penang at the end of the day. The first overtake, full throttle. I must say, power is delivered quite smoothly, almost effortless. Guys, so we are at the Berang rest stop. We just came out from the B roads and we are going to head to Ipoh via the North-South Highway. And while we're having a break now, I just want to show you how big the boot is. So despite it being a hybrid with batteries underneath the car, boot space has not been affected. In fact, it has the same boot size at 440 liters as the non-hybrid Corolla Cross. So we've got 2 duffel bags here, some goodie bags there, 2 backpacks here, and as you can tell, there's still plenty of room to go, still a lot of things we can actually stack in. Now, I can't wait to check out our first spot. A sad sight. It always breaks my heart to see this mountain every time I'm in Ipoh. But anyways, I have spent the last 50 kilometers as the front passenger and I've made a couple of observations. For starters, the storage space here by the door panel. Access is not the greatest. In terms of storage space, well, we've got small bottles here, but I think realistically you can confidently fit in a 500 milliliter bottle. A 1 liter bottle might be a bit of a stretch. The same applies to the center console. This is pretty much all the storage space that you get. You get a wireless charging pad here and a little space by the side here for smaller items. And then you get the gear lever, the drive mode selector with the EV mode, and then a couple of cup holders here. This could come in handy if you don't actually put cups or bottles. And then as for the armrest storage, it's quite deep, not the biggest. You got a 12 volt charging port here, and that's pretty much it. The armrest slides back and forth like that, which can be quite useful, I suppose, when the seat is pushed quite far forward. And really looking forward to this lunch that we're having in Ipoh. Alright guys, we've reached our first stop in Ipoh at the Banjaran Hot Springs. Guess what? We're going to be having lunch in a cave. It's called the Jeff's Cellar. Now I've heard about it online, you know, dining in the cave and whatnot, but like this would actually be my first time trying it out. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, check that out. I guess this is the entrance to the cave. What is this? Alright, fresh towels, thank you. Oh, thank you. Ooh. Check that out. Alright, now that lunch is done, let's do a bit of work. We've got a car here with a really nice backdrop. Maybe I'll show you some details on the exterior. Hybrid can be distinguished from the standard 1.8 models with a few different features, namely the badge where you get blue accents around it, and the headlamps where you get this blue detail over it. On the inside, you get these carpets with blue surrounds, and you also get the larger multi-information display. Let's go check it out. There we go. So compared to the standard 1.8 Corolla Cross, this one comes with a much bigger display to show you all this charging and whatnot. You got different parameters here as well. And yeah, let's go check out the rest of the exterior. You've got 18-inch wheels, LED headlamps, LED fog lamps, LED tail lamps. You get a roof rack. Back here, you get a hands-free powered tailgate. Keys in the pocket. And it opens like that. When you need to close, and that's done. Right, lunch is over. Getting back to our cars, and we have about, let's see the range. So we have got 290 kilometers of range to go, and so far our fuel consumption rating is 8.2. I am quite confident I can hit 6 by the time we reach Penang without even trying to hypermile it. So I'm gonna drive semi-conservatively and let's see. So we're setting off from Banjaran Hot Springs, coming out of the compound completely in EV mode, or rather electric mode. I'm not sure if you can tell. It's completely silent. Let me reduce the volume even more. It feels like you're driving the plug-in hybrid versions of the X5, the XC90, the S-Class 7 Series. Actually quite impressive. And we've got some really winding roads right after Ipoh. If you're familiar with the North-South Highway, I'm sure you know where I'm talking about. Sweeping through these bends at speed, I would say 100, 110 kilometers an hour. Really no drama at all, despite carrying all the extra weight, the batteries and whatnot. You don't feel the rear swaying as much, you know, because of all that weight. Actually very confidence inspiring. Not bad. In terms of a hybrid C-segment crossover, I think handling wise, it's probably one of the best. I really wish we could go a little faster though, because it feels like the car can really take it. Can take much more speed. You do feel the rear sort of, you know, leaning a bit more because of that weight, but still not unsettling, I must say. It's still giving me the confidence to go even faster. Behind the wheel, from KL all the way up here. I think so far the only thing that I notice missing from this whole experience is perhaps the pedal shifters, you know, especially through this stretch of road, just to give me a false sense of engine braking so that I can hold the car back. Yeah, if there is one feedback, one comment from this experience so far, it's probably the pedal shifters. Would be nice to have, but is it a big deal not having it? Not really as well, because I think the CVT transmission is actually quite responsive. On that topic of feedbacks and comments, the other thing I noticed is the lack of USB ports. You have 2 USB-C ports at the back, 1 USB-A on the infotainment system, and that's pretty much it. You want any more, you gotta plug in your 12-volt charger, and you know, it really depends on how many USB ports your chargers have. I think that's really important because, I mean, ultimately this is a family car, right? You're gonna have your family in, they're gonna have their gadgets on top of your gadgets. USB ports, highly crucial, very essential. The other aspect, if I can nitpick, is perhaps storage spaces. I wish there was a little more storage spaces aside from the ones that were allocated. As for ride comfort, cabin insulation, performance even, I'd actually rate it more than 6.5, 7 out of 10 for this car. Yeah, especially it being a C-segment crossover hybrid. I think it handles one of the best. Alright, Penang baby! Can't believe how long I've not been here. I think the last time I was here was probably more than 2 years ago, pre-COVID, for the Mazda 2.5 Turbo CX-5. Yeah, and ever since then, yep, we all know what happened. And this time around we're taking the new bridge, the second bridge. So for those of y'all who have not been on it, driven on it, or even seen it, well, look ahead. Not actually flat all the way. You still get those cables, those really tall poles, the elevation. But my goodness, this bridge is definitely longer than the main one, the first one. And wow, would you look at that view, guys. Now that we're on the Penang Bridge, quick update. Fuel consumption rating is at 7.5 litres per 100 km. I think that's quite impressive. As for range, I still have 131 kilometers to go, and I have a quarter tank to go. That's actually very impressive considering we have driven through back roads, hard acceleration, hard braking, and then hard acceleration again. And then we are carrying 3 adults, cargo, baggages, luggages for 3 adults. I think it has fared really well. In terms of comfort, I have no complaints, cabin insulation, performance even actually for a 1.8 litre hybrid. I must say the hybrid system does have a huge part to play in offering that additional performance, making performance feel more seamless. Definitely a thumbs up for the hybrid system. And you guys know I'm not one who is you know, into hybrid systems and all, but this one I can actually recommend because it does not affect the driving experience of the car. Unlike most other hybrid cars where, you know, you either feel that transition not being smooth enough between electric motor and engine, or you have the additional weight that you're carrying, you know, you feel like the car doesn't feel as stable, or both. Yeah, this one however has not affected the ride comfort, the handling, so definitely got my thumbs up lah, this Corolla Cross Hybrid. Yeah, I suppose I see why I've not been back to Penang after so long. My goodness, the jam, the cars, and the driving. Wow, Penang kya? I thought KL was bad. Penang is, woo! Got 1.6 kilometers to go, 3 minutes away from destination. Still a lot of fuel left. Very impressive, I must say, despite it being a 30-odd litre fuel tank. 30-odd litres. When I first saw that number, I honestly was not very confident about making it to Penang in one tank, but did it comfortably. Yeah, but did it comfortably. We've covered about 420 kilometers. 110 kilometers of range to go. If you remember, we started the journey with about 600 kilometers of range. All in all, I think not bad. Yeah. I must say, Penang has changed quite a lot. A lot of new buildings, a lot of new malls, a lot of new condos, most definitely. Finally activated the EV mode in this car, and I really like to see how far or how fast I go before it switches off and the engine kicks in. Now is the perfect time to try it out because traffic is super heavy. We're crawling at super slow speeds, so I noticed we've been in EV mode for the most part of it, so that's really cool knowing that no petrol is being wasted in this slow moving traffic. And the other upside to this is it's been very responsive, very smooth. You don't feel the engine like wah. So this not bad. So growing up, when I came to Penang, a lot of my friends from Penang told me that this road after Tanjung Bunga leading up to Batu Ferringhi is the road that all Penangites come to drive. Are there any other nice driving roads in Penang? I don't know. Share with the other viewers. Let us know in the comment section. I noticed I've been in EV mode most of the time. gliding through these winding roads. Actually pretty fun, because you know, obviously when you're in EV mode, electric, there's no delay, responsive, straight, you get power. Now the engine kicked in. Okay, but now EV, still in EV, changes direction with a lot of composure, not bad. Oh, this guy, basket. Suddenly, especially after COVID, you know, businesses have been shut down. It looks very deserted. It's like I said to my co-drivers and passengers, it feels very weird to see Penang, or more specifically Batu Ferringhi, without white people. Yeah, you used to see them all over the place and it's like deserted now. So sad. Hotel Angsana. Although we are the first ones to arrive, because we got a little lost from the convoy, so kind of have to figure our way around this. Alright, so the surround view monitor is quite useful. You get to see so many different angles, but resolution can be better. Yeah. Anyways, we're parked and we're here! Okay, so right after this, we're gonna just drop the bags off in the room. I'm gonna show you the interior of the car and then we are done. We have clocked 7.3 liters per 100 km. I think that's pretty good, with 93 km of range to go and a quarter tank of fuel. Oh, check this building out. You will definitely not miss it from the main road. It's about 5 minutes after you pass Hard Rock Cafe and it looks like that on the outside. I can't imagine what it looks on the inside. Let's go check it out. Alright guys, now that we are here in Penang and we have already checked into the hotel, we have a bit of time, we freshened up. I thought maybe I'd show you what the back seat is like, shared with you what performance is like. I've showed you a bit of the exterior, which I'm sure most of y'all are already familiar with. And now, let's check out the back seat. First things first, I think the door opening is quite wide, so if you have to put in a baby seat, it shouldn't be too big of a problem. Getting in, you don't really have to lift your leg too high up, which makes access quite easy. And as for legroom, I think there's more than enough for a car this segment, especially when you consider its competitors like the HRV, the CX-3. Not that much legroom. As for headroom, again, more than enough. You get an armrest, rear aircon blowers and 2 USB-C ports. Not bad. So that's all for now for our Toyota Corolla Cross Media Drive. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the journey along the way through Ipoh, through Penang, and I hope to see you again soon, perhaps in the review video of this car. See ya!